Disney Plus streamed Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut with the Indiana Fever last night, marking the platform's first live sports event. Clark, the NCAA's leading all-time scorer, attracted 18.9 million viewers to the Women's March Madness National Championship game. And meanwhile, Disney Plus is expanding its sports streaming, planning a full ESPN direct-to-consumer service in 2025. Patrick Reish believes that Clark's debut could be a turning point for the league, especially with younger fans who do prefer streaming. Well, here to talk all about Clark's debut last night is Cheddar correspondent Dave Briggs joining us from Connecticut. Dave, how was the game?
It was actually incredible experience. It was, as you know, my first WNBA experience, so I did not know what to expect. It was a packed scene. Let's start with how Caitlin Clark played, though. To her coach, it was a disappointment. There's a lot she's got to learn. The physicality of this league is going to really take some adjustment. She turned the ball over 10 times, which ties a record for a rookie in her debut, but still managed to score 20 points. As bad as she played, no one on her team scored more than 20 points. But the scene was really electric. Everywhere you looked was a sea of number 22 T-shirts. I think they actually outnumbered the home team in terms of walking the concourses and looking at the seats. There were more 22 T-shirts than any other jersey or T-shirt from even the home team, Connecticut Sun.
Okay, impressive.
But they got blown out, I should mention.
I know.
They got blown out by 20 points.
That was rough, I know. And then they're going to play in Brooklyn this weekend. But we had mentioned earlier, right, 18.9 million views for that national championship game that Clark led the Hawkeyes to earlier this year. What were the ratings like for this debut?
Yeah, we're waiting on the ratings. They haven't come in yet, but I just want to offer a word of caution on those. They will certainly be up. I am guessing you're going to see a record for an opening night in the WNBA. Big problem, though, is their competition. And we talked about the NBA a lot. They ran right up against the Indiana Pacers, which is her hometown team, the Indiana Fever, playing against the New York Knicks, the #1 NBA market. So as good as they will be, and I expect 50, 60, 70% increase, they went up against the worst possible NBA game in terms of major markets and Caitlin Clark's home market. But again, she smashed records in NCAA. She smashed the draft record, which was more than triple what it was last year. Expect a good number. Just want to offer a little pause.
A little word of caution there. So you mentioned all the 22 jerseys. We knew that her jersey sold out almost instantly when she was drafted to the Fever. But any sort of sense as to what these games and her presence could have on local economies, like we might have seen last night in Connecticut?
Well, let me just say, I think this is, with all due respect to the WNBA, who's done a great job thus far marketing her, the major screw up by the league is they weren't prepared for the demand of jerseys. The initial batch sold out in the second around draft night. And then if you get on the WNBA shop that's run by Fanatics right now, which I did this morning, you can buy a jersey which will be shipped no later than August 28th, several months into the season, which is a major miss for the WNBA. I also noticed that at the Connecticut Sun merchandise store, which was packed all night, and the people that ran that store told me they'd never seen sales like this. There were no Caitlin Clark jerseys or T-shirts or hats in that merchandise store. I don't know if that's going to change, but it better. If the WNBA knows what they're doing, they're going to get some sort of Caitlin Clark merchandise in every arena in which she plays. It will have a dramatic impact on local economies. This was the first Connecticut Sun sellout since their first season more than 20 years ago. 3 road teams have already moved to bigger venues to accommodate NBA-sized crowds. It's going to have an enormous economic impact on local economies from Seattle to LA to New York and across the country.
We've got like 15 seconds left, but some pretty impressive shoes I've heard. What were they?
They were Tiffany Air Force One Nikes. And what's interesting is that was reported by the New York Post. So she's getting buzz on the outfit she's walking into the arena with, $1,500 sneaks. So that just kind of gives you a sense of what kind of coverage she will get.
Yeah.
Her home opener Thursday night in Indiana against New York.
Not too shabby. Dave Briggs joining us in Connecticut after the game there last night. Dave, thank you.